Welcome back to the final cast, guys, with your host Brad.
And Matt.
Yes. What's up, man?
What's going on, brother? Oh, just, living the dream. All that fun stuff. I say living the dream too much, and Stacy pointed it out today, and so did my buddy Cam. He sent me a funny meme of blue collar guys when they're getting ready to end it all. It's just living the dream. It's great.
I was gonna say at the expo, I probably heard you say that at least 10 times to people walking by.
Dude, my favorite is what I always say now is I'm living someone's dream somewhere. Everyone seems to laugh at that, especially all the old people I deal with at my job. They'll ask, "How you doing today?" I was like, "I'm living someone's dream somewhere." Oh, I know that's right.
Old people love cliches, man.
They do because they started it.
That's true.
Because they made the cliche.
It's funny though. You're getting old.
Yeah, dude, I'm already old. I woke up this morning and I don't know. I got up like 14 times last night to pee. I'm afraid I have prostate cancer now.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know what's going on. I mean, I'm just breaking down, man. I just got to get through Dale Hollow so I can die happy and get Bronze Master on tonight on the Smallie Games, which is what our show's about tonight, which I'm super pumped about.
But first, speaking of Dale Hollow, Zach and Josh, they're both coming to Dale Hollow. So Dark Horse Tackle will be down at Dale Hollow, which, by the way, show sponsor. If you use Paddle 20, you get 20% off your first monthly subscription. And then our other sponsor, Matt.
Nikko baits, the best baits of Elastec that you will ever use. I promise. They got tons of new stuff already coming out and a bunch of new colors. So definitely check them out. But yeah, Dale Hall will be fun. Last weekend, April 22nd and 23rd, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, down at Dale Hollow. Definitely go on Tourney X. Accommodations are starting to fill up. So get registered on Tourney X. Eastport Marina, Sulphur Creek, a ton of resorts around there. Get registered, get in that tournament. It's always a fun time. Come hang out with us and all the vendors and stuff that'll be there. It's dope.
You did say Eastport was full on cabins that weekend, but they have the houseboats, so don't forget that.
They do have the houseboats, and the houseboats are awesome. You'll probably get to see John Rapp moving around with his PP moonshine. So, yeah. But
that was funny.
I'm ready to jump straight into this. Brad, you got anything else before we jump in?
Nope, we're good. Let's do it.
Awesome. Well, introduce our guest and let's get on it.
All right. We are bringing back Josh Chrenko. We're going to be talking about Smallie Games 2.0. What's up, man?
What's up, boys? How's it going?
Good.
Oh, living the dream, just like I just said.
Dude, if you ever want to feel good about yourself, just freaking crack a joke to an old dude, and they will laugh their ass off at you.
It's awesome, dude. It's amazing. It's literally the biggest confidence boost. I could have the worst day, and an old guy will walk in, and I'll be like, "Hey, man, how you doing?" "Oh, I'm good. How are you?" And I'll do I'm living someone's dream somewhere, man. It's just one of those days. It feels like Monday on a Friday. And they'll be like, "Oh, don't I know it, man? Ha, ha, ha."
If you just mix up a bunch of I'm doing better than a horse saddle in a pool. And they'll be like, "Yeah, oh, that's hilarious. You're talking my language."
You could probably just make something up and they'll be like, "Oh, yeah, I've heard that."
Bro, yeah, I just make anything up, dude. Those old dudes love it, dude.
Oh, yeah. And then they'll end up saying, it's like, "That's exactly what my uncle used to say when I was a little kid." And be like, "No, it wasn't, dude. You've got dementia or something." Because no one's ever said that except for me right now.
Oh, dude. So funny, man. I love old people. I love them.
I love talking to them. I don't love driving behind them, but that's a different story for
Lord, yeah.
Dude, so, I almost got ran off the highway 3 times today. It was terrible.
You can always tell if you're buying a car that an old person used to drive because everything's super nice. The interior is like brand new, but all 4 corners of the car are like all marred up, dude. They've ran into something on all 4 corners.
Every wheel has rash on it, curb rash. Yes. Every single wheel. But I'll tell you, when you look at the mile per gallon, it's always way higher than it's supposed to be.
Yeah. They've been changing the oil every 2,500 miles, dude.
Yeah. I bought my F-150. I averaged 23 miles a gallon going on the highway, which is good. And when I got it, it was averaged at 27. And the trip odometer was at like 240 miles. So it wasn't like hyper mild or nothing. Like it was in the guy told me, he's like, "Yeah, it was a trade-in. The guy was 75 years old. He just upgraded to F-250. I was like, "Why? That's a weapon at this point." Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, no joke. Well, good seeing you guys, dude. Yeah, I think last time I was on, maybe it was the last Smallie Games one. Is that
right? It was this time last year, I think, which seems like it was just a couple months ago.
I like coming on talking fishing, so you know.
Oh, dude, we'll just have just be the third host. Screw it.
No, I already host a different podcast.
I was about to say, just leave that one and come to this one. We'll combine.
No, don't.
We barely, bro. We barely are able to record. I put an episode out today. That it's been in the hopper for a while, but it's kind of one of those things. Chris and I have a hard time getting together just because we're busy and stuff. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, you keep turning out dope product, and then you're reinventing the whole Smallie Games from last year, which I'm so pumped to talk about. But yeah, product-wise, everyone, go to achigan.com and get some stuff like this. I got 4 compliments on this hoodie today.
Nice.
They're like, man, I haven't seen that camo in forever. I was like, yeah, it's awesome. Go to this website, and it says Smallies. It's for smallmouth. I catch those. And one guy said he ate them, and I almost fought him.
Oh, man. So, no.
I was that close. And that's why I didn't buy a car at your dealership, Mike Costello in Cincinnati.
That's hilarious.
That's funny.
Yeah, I was at the office. Literally, I just came home like about an hour ago from fulfilling all those orders. So we're staying busy. We, everybody's kind of showed up for the launch. So we're trying to get, I definitely want to get more players this year. So we got some marketing partners that should be getting games here pretty soon. So I'm hoping to get some more people in there. Specifically, I want to get guys who are in the boat community, because get a lot of kayakers and wading type guys. But there's, for every kayaker that fish for smallmouth, there's 10 dudes that fish out of boats. So trying to get some of that community, but we'll see how it goes. It officially starts tomorrow though. So March 1st is the go date. So
sweet, awesome.
So yeah.
I can't believe there's not more boat guys doing it, because you got a boat, you just go in Erie or St. Mary's, man. You clear that board in like 2 days.
I know.
We got Jason Myers. He fishes off his boat on the river. He goes up to St. Clair and all that stuff.
Yeah, we got a few guys that are in boats for sure. But it's just, one of those things. We're still small right now, and our reach is limited. I think a lot of the people that know who we are like people that listen to our Smallie Talk podcast. And because we're mostly river guys, the guys who listen to our podcast are mostly river guys. And we've tried to branch out some. Man, if we had more time, I feel like we could do a lot with it. We did have that dude on, Joey Walton. Did you guys listen to that episode?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm about to say I should. Yeah, I did.
He caught a 9-pound smallmouth he's the dude that's a guide out of Dworshack Reservoir.
Yep.
I probably shouldn't say that name because we didn't mention it on the podcast, but
oh geez.
We'll try to bleep
it. No, I mean, if you don't know, that reservoir is it's like one of those still under the radar, but it's regularly producing 8 and 9 pound smallmouth. So
we have one of those reservoirs here up in Ohio, but nothing.
Yeah, it ain't producing 8 or 9 pounders.
No, but it's still a special place for Ohio.
Yeah,
that we won't talk about. Yeah, go to the grave with it.
Just if I ever want to come up and fish it, you boys take me out, right?
Oh yeah, man, I'll definitely take you. That's fine.
It's one of those places where when the river's flooded, that's where we go to get our fix.
Yeah, we have not lakes, but rivers. Chris and I have probably 2 or 3 that are on the we never discuss this with anyone ever, and the only way you can find out about it is if you get in on our spring trip that we go on, and that one is we have basically a council that votes on if we can bring new people with us. So it's somewhat of an exclusive trip, and you get blindfolded when we drive you up there. I'm joking. We don't really do that.
Well, I mean,
I'm gonna say that sounds like a good time.
This is some deep state stuff. Can I just keep the blindfold on? Is there other stuff that happens with the blindfold on?
We have all kinds of stuff that happens when you have the blindfold on.
Oh boy.
Oh jeez.
But yeah, I mean, we definitely have those places where there's one in particular that literally is never said the name out loud. if you like paid really close attention, you would hear some like references to it that are like kind of coded, but we have never said that word out loud to anybody. So I know how that is. You know, it's like one of those places, dude. It's like, you know, you can't put it out there because then people, you know, try to go fish it. So,
the place that we're talking about, it's like it's so small. Like every time we go there, there's probably only 4 boats on it at most. I've never seen.
That's cool that there's smallmouth in it though.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, there's smallmouth, and the guys aren't really even going after the smallies. They're going after the walleye that are in there, and the crappie and the perch. They don't even care about the largemouth and smallmouth, and some tanks upon tanks come out of all that.
So, yep, I witnessed Justin catch a 22-inch largemouth out of there.
Dang, dude. That's awesome.
Biggest one I've ever seen in person.
Marshall? Justin Marshall? Yeah. Yep. That's cool, dude. Well, awesome, man. What do you guys want to talk about the game, or what do you think?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude. So do you have a list of like the bronze masters from last year with you?
No, but I know them off the top of my head.
You want to go ahead and shout those out first?
Hell yeah, dude. Okay, so let's see here. There were 10 bronze masters. I was one of them, so I'm gonna, you know, not announce my own name here. So we got 9 people. Your boy Justin Marshall, we just mentioned him, from Ohio. Ryan Dahl, who is also from Ohio. Jason Myers, who is also from Ohio. You freaking Ohio dudes.
They all live within like 20 minutes.
I was about to say, and they're all in the same group that we all like talk to each other with. So.
Yeah, a bunch of hammers, dude. We have from Indiana, we got Tyler Atwell. He's from my hometown of Mooresville, Indiana. Shout out to Mooresville Pioneers. We have let's see here. Bryce Clendenning is another one from Indiana. He's kind of a wading creek guy. Although we did find him in one of our winter spots in a kayak the other day, completely unexpected. Dude just posted up right in the middle of it. Caught 320s in a day.
He's a cool guy to follow. I follow him.
Yeah, he's a super cool guy. Jake Harshman, you guys probably know him from the kayak community. He's a Hobie, you know, guy. Let's see here. Who else we have? So we have 3 more. I'm gonna have to consult my list here because I should have known. I would forget because I'm gonna be mad when I see who it is. Let's see here. Let's see, bronze master. So, all right. So we have Joe Lynx. Dude is from New York. I'm terrible with accents, so I'm keeping that short. My boy Jeremy Crow. You guys know Crow?
Michigan guy.
Yeah, dude. Crow is like the realest of real freaking river guys. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that's it. I named all of them. So,
nice.
Nick Nicrelli. That's the one I didn't mention.
I was about to say, like,
Indy, dude.
How is Nick not in it?
Oh, I know. Yeah. No, I mean, it's hard. I have a terrible memory. So, Nicrelli is the man. He's a friggin' dude. Dude is like, have you guys ever met him? I know Brad has.
Oh yeah.
Have you met him, Matt?
Yeah, I haven't met him in person, but we've had him on the show for I think 5 episodes last year. So I know him. Like me and him talk whenever a swim bait drops. Like the reason like I have half the swim baits I bought last year is Nick would message me and be like, "Dude, it's dropping. Go buy it right now." And I'm like, "All right, cool." And I just buy it, and I was like, "Dude, that was like $90." He's like, "Yeah, but it's great." I was like, "Yeah, but."
Nicrelli is like he's like a cartoon character in real life, dude. I think that's the best way. Dude's like he's a wild freaking dude.
Dude, I love him. He's some of the best people, man.
He's so cool, dude. Dude. I know. We're gonna make his head bigger than it already is because he's got a big old noggin. So, but dude's awesome. Yeah. So that's our bronze master. We had 10 people complete it. You know, and I think if I'm being honest, this year's games is quite a bit harder to complete. It's different though. I think it's going to take a little more staying power to complete it. So whereas I think last year, if you had like one like awesome trip and you caught a couple really nice fish, you could sort of like power through it. This year, it's got some volume to it. So I see you guys have the game board up here. So last year was as simple as we could possibly make it. So, you had a grid and you were trying to cover up the whole thing. And the bigger the fish you caught, the bigger the game piece was, and it kind of covered up more spaces. This year's not really like that. All the game pieces are the same size. So, whether that's an 18, 19, 20, whatever, it's all the same size. Now, the difference is there are shortcuts kind of built in. And like the first one you can kind of see there.
Right here.
Yeah, there's like a tree. So you're going to start down by that cicada there in the bottom left-hand corner. Yep. And then you're going to go up from there. And then that first log on the right. So that's your first shortcut. And I believe that's a 20. So if you could continue all the way up with smaller fish and go around the S curve. Or if you catch a 20, you can kind of cut through that sort of shortcut. So
okay.
It's the bigger fish basically make the path shorter. But no matter what, you still have to make a path to the end. And there's multiple ways you can beat it. You can kind of choose which direction you go, which path you take. There's one huge shortcut down there in the middle, and it's the 23 piece. And that one is like the underground river. So if you catch a 23, you essentially get to skip that whole bottom right-hand side of the board and go all the way up to the top where that arrow is. And then that's where you pop out. So if nobody turned into 23 last year, so I don't know how realistic that is. Depends on how many people play the game. A lot of people are talking a big game right now. Like they're going to catch a 23. So I'm going to be really curious to see if someone actually does it.
One guy just did, didn't they?
I saw a dude in Oklahoma catch a 23. Yes,
because I know you commented on it. You're like, it's the only 23 that I believe, or one of the only ones that I believe. And I looked at it, I was like, that thing's ridiculous.
And I have seen some. So I've seen a handful of 23s. Because the whole Quest for 23 thing, which is one of our kind of sub brands in Achigan, that when I started that, a lot of guys were messaging me like, that I caught a 23 here. But there was only maybe 3 dudes that actually messaged me like pictures of fish on boards. And almost all of them came from the New River.
You can see that the New River is just stacked.
They got I think Drew Gregory says there's like a 12-mile stretch that's a trophy section on the river.
It's a 12-mile stretch. It's a trophy section. You cannot keep it. If you get caught keeping any fish out of it, it's like a felony in the state.
Yeah, it's illegal.
You can't take any fish out of it. You can't keep them. It's like trout. You can't keep them out of the water for longer than a little bit of time, and you have to report. I think anything over a 20, you have to report to the DNR down there, like within an hour or two. Like it's cool, dude. It's insane how they protect that 12-mile stretch.
I actually am really anxious to see how that Hobie BOS does down there this year.
I think they had one on there before.
I would like to see the results because I kind of am of the mind that the Susky fishes way better overall.
Yeah, it does.
From everything I've heard, it definitely fishes better than the New River overall. Now,
it's interesting to see because I've been to both. I've been the New River twice. I've been the Susky 3 times, and honestly, the fishing for me has been not even close. The Susky has been off the chain, and the New River has been dink fest. Now, obviously, there are huge. I see that's where the theory is. I think that the biggest of the big fish in the New River are probably bigger than the Susky, but just overall fish population is I don't think even close. But that's why I'm saying, like, I would love to see. I'm sure the dudes that live in West Virginia and Virginia are probably screaming at their, screens when they hear this. But, I don't even think it's a close race. So you boys out there in West Virginia, you better show out at this Hobie because I feel like that's been a kind of a rival, like the Susky.
Oh yeah, I would definitely see it. Yeah, for sure. I'm on the same mind thought. I mean, I fished the New River and I caught a couple good fish out of it, but it was mostly dinky. But I haven't fished the Susky, but everyone I've ever talked about or talked to, they're like, "Oh yeah, it's the best fishery ever." And there's so much stuff to back it up. Like, you're not the first person to be like, "It's the best smallmouth fishery I've gone to on a river." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not surprised." It's annoying.
Yeah.
I can't
now I would take. I'm not gonna say where, but I would take the Mississippi River 9 or 10 days out of 10 days than the Susky. Yeah, I'll put that on paper, bud.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
See, I never fished that, man. I think we should have an Achigan trip,
bro. I will totally. Well, that's one thing. So, kind of getting into the games a little bit. So, the Bronze Masters. We didn't really know, like, we're a small business. We're kind of doing this on our nights and weekends, and we don't have like funds to like throw around, for like after parties and shit like that. Maybe one day, but not right now. But the Bronze Masters, when they kind of beat the game, I was kind of like, we'll see how many guys beat it. Depends on what we can do as far as making them feel special. So I think a small enough group beat it that we could this year do some fun things with them. And I literally just got an email this afternoon that the last items are complete. But I got a package we're sending out to them with all kinds of awesome stuff that's like personalized and completely free. So if you do beat the game, there is some like kind of cool prizes in it for you. But more than that, it's created like a little club, and we have a Facebook Messenger thread that's Bronze Masters only, and like probably are on there at least like 2 times a week. Of like just chatting back and forth about different fishing stuff and baits and sharing secrets and all kinds of stuff. So it's kind of like a little exclusive club to be in. And what I'm hoping is like over time we can do a Bronze Master trip every year. And like the plan is
that'd be
for
sick,
me, yeah, just to like take those guys and like go somewhere real like exclusive, try to use my like knowledge of all the traveling I've done for smallmouth and put together like a badass trip. So we'll see what ends up happening. I don't know, how that'll work with people's schedules and all that, but we're going to try to do that sometime this summer. So if you play, that's one of the things that, is like kind of in it. If you try and you beat it, is you're kind of part of that exclusive club. So
that's cool.
That's definitely cool. I'm just surprised you're able to get Marshall to give you any secrets at all. Like, he'll talk to me and Brad. There's even stuff that he won't say. And then somebody else will be like, "Hey, yeah, Justin, what are you catching on the river?" He's like, yeah, I'm just using like a Berkeley fluke." When like he doesn't even own any Berkeley flukes. Yeah, I'm using a big old football head jig that's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's hilarious.
I've never pressed Justin for information, so he isn't super vocal on that thread. Per usual, you got Jay Carsman's probably got the loudest mouth on there, so
I'm not surprised.
He's talking all the time. And then Dahl's always a good dude. He's always like, sharing stuff. Which
he'll tell anybody anything. Like, he just wants to get people on fish to an extent. Like, I've had to.
Yep.
We were talking about swim baits. It's like, dude, what are you throwing? He's like, I don't know. I was like, Ryan, shut up. I see you, like, I talk to you like every month. Like, I don't talk to anybody else other than you, Brad, Justin, and you. Like, get over it. He's like, all right, yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I was like,
yeah, I met him for the first time. We had a little launch party for Smallie Games last.
Man, I wanted to come to that.
Dude,
yeah,
it was
me
so
too.
much
I had
fun.
to work.
It was like one of those events, like, I didn't really know what to expect, because when you do stuff like, get-togethers. You don't know how many guys are going to show up, especially if it's not like, there's nothing like they're paying for or whatever. It's just kind of like, hey, show up if you want. And we had about 20 guys total come, and dude, we had a freaking blast. Like it was, we just like took over that restaurant, dude. It was
That's awesome.
The waiters were coming up asking what we were all here for, and like asking about we had all the game boards laid out, and everybody's looking at them. It was super fun.
Oh, that's sick. I wanted to go so bad. Me and Brad were talking about it, and I was like, dude, I gotta work. I can't get off. I tried.
Yeah. I get it, dude. I know how it goes. We did talk. Chris and I talked about the summer. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna. This is sort of the plan. So we're gonna find an island on White River, okay, and we're gonna do a Saturday meetup on an island. Everybody has to like paddle, jet boat, whatever, get there somehow. We're gonna bring grills and food and freaking just wild out on an island on White
That'd
River.
be cool.
Yeah.
The news the next day: 4 kayakers lost on White River rave.
Oh yeah, dude. We're gonna get the rave music going, dude.
Dude, I came across a big party like out on a rock bar on our river here up in Troy, Matt. And there was a little girl standing in the middle of the river with like a It mask on, It the clown.
Oh my god!
Like I just floated right by her, and she's just like staring at me the whole time. I just passed by. I was like, "What is going on here?"
So like I'm afraid of clowns. Like of all the things I've done in my life, clowns still terrify me. And I told her, I was like, dude, if I saw that, I would just got on my boat and just probably drowned her. Like it would like something would have flicked in my head and be like, oh no, and I would have just like been thinking Georgie. I was like, I'm getting revenge for Georgie.
Yeah,
like, dude, that
was weird. Some weird stuff on the river. I think one of you guys didn't you say you saw? I think it was Brad saw probably
Pickle Park.
Oh yeah, me and Matt.
My God,
I was with him.
Pickle Park.
So, dude, here's the story for the 82nd time. We're going down this river that me and Brad don't ever float ever because it sucks. And we were like, let's try something new. We shouldn't have. That was stupid. And we're scarred for life now. We're going down, and Brad just keeps looking back at me. I'm trying to fish this river. It's way too fast. He keeps looking back. And I was like, what are you doing? He just looks over and points. And I hear, it sounds like a 10-point crash after he got shot through the woods. And you see 2 dudes running away. And I was like,
oh my gosh.
One guy was bent all the way over, touching his ankles. The other guy was behind him.
Bro, that would scar me for life. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, weird. I'll never go down that again, ever. Even if the river was good, I'd be like, dude, I can't do it again because I'm going to see 2 dudes going to town on each other, and I'm not about that life. So
I once saw a grown man in a dress pull his entire dress up with no underwear, right after he got done taking a poop in a wheelchair potty on the side of the river. That's probably the closest I've ever. And he was like, we're floating past him. I was with Derek. He looks at me. I'm like, dude, I'm not joking. I'm like 10 feet from this guy because there's like an embankment, and I'm like right there. I come up on him. He's like, whoa. He's like, didn't expect to see anybody here. And he goes, because I come out here to get away from people, and he's like, I'm not gay or anything. I just lost you.
I would have started laughing.
Bro, I don't know. I lost it. Derek was behind me, and dude, he was like completely had no idea what was going on. I'm just cracking up.
That's hilarious.
It was hilarious, dude.
I don't even know what I would do. Like 10 feet away, dude, you're probably getting a whiff of it, and then you just see some dude.
Bro, I saw everything. Like it was.
I guess it's a good thing he didn't like go an extra mile and be like, I'm not gay or nothing. Turn around and like showed you his brown star or something weird.
Yeah, I'm sure if I would have stayed long enough, he probably would have. But
well,
I mean, it was a riffle, so we didn't have that much time.
Thank God.
Chat. But
thank God it's nothing. You had a portage around and had to walk behind him. That would have sucked.
God, dude.
Get within 5 feet. I just sit there and go through the rapid and be like, if I die, I die. I don't care.
So last time I ever go to Derek's river with him, dude, that's like Derek's. You know all those videos he films with like all the homeless camps. That's that river.
Oh,
Yeah, dude, he's a brave man. Like I wouldn't, I just like half the stuff I see, I'm like, dude, just find somewhere else to put in.
He had a guy like threaten him with a gun too in one of his videos.
Dude, yeah, he's had all kinds of stuff.
That's crazy.
He works downtown, so it's kind of one of those things. He like goes there and fishes because it's like right, next to where he works at. But there's a reason why it's downtown.
Yeah.
I mean, this is it's a sketchy river, sketchy place.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, I'd be remiss if I didn't like talk more about Smallie Games because I know that's what you guys have me on for. But
we do these rabbit holes a lot. So
well, if anybody's not aware of what Smallie Games is, it's basically like a board game that it's by Achigan, but we sort of administer the board game. So you sign up, you get a board, and then the idea is like you catch fish throughout the season, and you turn in pictures of your fish, and we mail you the game pieces to put on your board, and you're sort of just trying to this year. You're trying to make a path from the start to the end. I touched on some of the like shortcuts and stuff. One of the things I'm most excited about are the Smallie Snacks spaces. And so there's 5 categories of Smallie Snacks spaces. There is bait fish, amphibians. There is let's see here, terrestrial invertebrates, aquatic invertebrates, and I'm trying to think and rodents. So my business partner is an ecologist, so he's kind of like very sciencey with his stuff. So part of this is sort of like an educational thing. And he like the aquatic invertebrates and terrestrial invertebrates, if you're not aware, aquatic invertebrates are like crawfish, hellgrammites, that sort of thing. Terrestrial invertebrates are like, yep, exactly. Terrestrial invertebrates are bugs, essentially. But those are all categories of smallmouth forage. So that's like what smallmouth eat, right? And the challenge on those spaces to actually like get past that space, you have to catch a smallmouth 16 inches or bigger with something that resembles that class of forage. So like, for instance, on the rodent spaces, you have to catch a 16-inch or bigger smallmouth on some kind of rodent style bait. So like a rat wake bait or like a chipmunk whopper plopper. I know there's like those exist. The beaver one. Yeah.
God, Nick's gonna love this.
Yeah. So that's, and there's 5 of those spaces. Now, if you get all 5 of the single category of spaces, then you beat that level of Smallie Snacks, and you get this special big sticker in the mail with your last submission. So, and there's 5 of those. You can collect all 5 of the stickers. They're like, I actually just got the final proof of them tonight from our one of the guys that does the art, and they are badass looking. They're holographic. They're huge. So it's kind of a cool like little game within the game that you can play to, because I think some guys get intimidated by this game. It's like, oh man, I don't think I can beat this, which, we didn't build it so everybody could beat it. It is hard. You have to be pretty dedicated. I don't necessarily think you have to be like just a smallmouth guy. But I do think you have to fish quite a bit. I think that's sort of the equalizer here is like, you do have to spend a lot of time out on the water. And if you're just a guy that fishes for him, 2-3 times a year, like there's no chance. So if you are sort of more casual and you want to do the snack stuff and get those pieces, that's kind of a fun little challenge inside the game that you can do. So,
so these small dots in between fish, like there's spaces with dots. What are those?
So those are just our general spaces. So you can put any game piece inside of those spaces. So we accept everything. We actually lowered it to 16 inches this year. It was 17 last year. So any smallmouth 16 inches or bigger, you can put in those spaces. So essentially, like they're kind of like your easiest spaces to fill.
I
So
gotcha.
16, 17, 18, 19, it doesn't matter. And then the ones that have a size on them, you have to fill them with that size of smallmouth or bigger. So if it's an 18-inch game piece or larger would be accepted in that spot. Same thing, 20 or bigger, 19 or bigger. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a to look at this. I think a lot of guys look at this and be like, man, that's gonna be really hard. But you're talking about an entire season, so there's plenty of guys out there that can go out and in a weekend and probably knock out half this board.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
probably.
Certain places, the certain places. The Susky and pre-spawn, you probably could do that.
Yeah.
Susky is pre-spawn. If you took a week off work, you probably knocked the board out.
Yeah, probably. I mean, there was a guy on the Susky that was messaging me, and he's like a jet boat guy, and he was like, yeah, man, he's like, I'm not going to turn in anything under 18. And he was like, just last weekend, we caught 26 18s. And I was like, yeah, I'm like, so we have to account for that, because if I make it too easy, then, people are just, everybody will beat it, and then it's not really an accomplishment. So
yeah.
It's a balance. We don't want to scare people off, but we also want to make it doable. But yeah.
Have you actually counted up how many it takes to complete the board? How many fish?
Yeah, I think if you did like the longest path possible, it's like 90 something. But I think that on average, we think it's going to be about 60 spaces or so. So, and we did change the pricing on the game pieces because they're all the same size this year. If you order 5 or more at one time, they're $2 a piece. So, I mean, you're in it, $120, you can beat the whole game. And, I feel like for us, like that's, we're not making money on that, but it pays for our like postage and time and all that. And it's still like, there's enough skin in the game that people aren't just ordering game pieces like for nothing, it's like, it's still, so yeah, and then you do get the bonus stickers like you did last year. So in addition to the game pieces, you get like the little kind of tally fish sticker, which for me, that's was the coolest part of it. Even though I haven't put mine anywhere yet. I haven't decided from last year's games. I'm still like, I don't want to put it on something that like, if I put it on a kayak and then I end up selling the kayak, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same way.
So I'm trying to figure out like my jet boat's probably my safest option, but I already have a bunch of stickers on that. So I'm like, I don't know. We'll see. I might start filling up my windshield on my jet boat or something like that. But yeah, those are the kind of the coolest, in my opinion. They're sort of like little touchdown stickers on your helmet. That's what we kind of mimic them after.
Oh yeah, they're sick.
But yeah, and anything 20 inches or bigger has a holographic finish this year. So
nice. That's cool.
Kind of stick out a little bit. But yeah,
are you guys still doing the like submit within the month type deal as same thing as last year?
Explain what you mean.
Like you have a month to submit a fish, and then
yeah. So here's the thing. I can't even view timestamps on pictures, just so you guys know. Like when you upload your picture, like I kind of said that I could like the thread of it, but we can't even like see that. So like, yes, in the rules it does state like you have 30 days to submit your pictures, which, if I'm getting a picture of snow in it in June, that's pretty obvious, but that's not, but in general, like, I don't really care, we're not trying to like be super particular about it. Like, it's all for the fun of it. If there was like money involved where you're like pooling money, because a bunch of people were like, oh, why don't we try to make this a tournament? And I'm like, man, then people get butt hurt in those situations. So this, for me, this is like kind of the anti-tournament. This is like competing against yourself. It's all fun and games. It's not like, don't take yourself too seriously, but at the same time, like, I think it's something where if guys are, even if they are tournament fishermen, if guys just do a lot of like trophy fishing, like where they're going out, they're trying to target big fish. This is just a way to stay engaged all season, to challenge yourself, to keep track. Like my board from last year, you can kind of see it back there on my door. Like I plan on keeping all my boards every year in my office and just kind of stacking them. So it's like a super cool thing. You can look back and be like, oh man, that's 2022. There's all my big fish I caught. I remember that one. I remember that one. I remember that one. So that's, to me, that's what's fun about it. Even if you don't beat the games, like, dude, you get a badass poster to hang up.
Yeah.
It's just like you said last year. It's kind of you said it stuck out to me because as a guy who played sports in high school and whatnot, like Letterman jackets weren't a huge thing, but I have one, and I'll look at it and be like, "Oh yeah, the good old times when my knees didn't hurt when I ran," and so it's the same concept. It's like, this is your accomplishment, your season for that year, and this is everything that you did. And if you're a bronze master, hey, in 2021, 2022, 2023, blah 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 blah, I was bronze masters every single year. Like I was on top of it, and then it's something to look back on and be proud of. And with the whole 30-day thing that Brad said, it's in the rules. And like you said, you can't view timestamps. And it's more of if somebody just posts a bunch of pictures and they fill it out, they're going to think, oh yeah, I'm a bronze master. In the back of their head, I don't care how bad of a person you are, you're going to be like, yeah, I cheated.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm sure there's probably a percentage of that. I mean, I think for the most part, any kind of stuff that we got like that was almost out of ignorance, like they didn't know. So I don't think there is like anybody that was like outright cheating last year. But again, a lot of this is the honor system. We're not taking it too seriously. There's definitely a way to cheat if you want to cheat, but it's like, I mean, you can cheat on like a video game or something. It's like, cool, man. Like, it's like, well, that's awesome that you just beat that game, but you just cheated. It's just, it's not the same thing. It's like you can hack you know what I mean? You can hack a game and be like, oh yeah,
God mode.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, exactly. You put in God mode. It's like, well, that's not an accomplishment. The accomplishment
you get bored.
The accomplishment is beating it the traditional way. And we made it hard enough. Like I said, I think it really will be an accomplishment if you beat it. And I'm not even sure if I'll beat it this year. Like,
I think you'll have less guys that beat it this year.
Yeah, this game it's like last year's game. It was pretty straightforward. If you could, I can't remember how many pieces were last year, but if you just caught
96 slots.
So there's 96 slots. If you caught 96 17-inch fish and you did the wild cards, you're done. With this, you're kind of forced to catch an 18. You're kind of forced to catch
you have to catch 120 to beat the game.
And you have to catch, that's what I was saying, you have to catch a 20, which
I
mean, I think you will have a lot less bronze masters, I mean, comparatively, but it just depends. This game's going to be a lot more difficult, maybe, and then you might see guys start throwing bigger baits to get bigger fish.
Yeah.
I can't wait, man. I'm actually really anxious to start filling mine up. I had fun with it last year. Like, for me, I was like, I didn't want to be the guy like beating it. And just being honest, I could have beat it earlier than I did last year. So I was sandbagging a little bit because I was like, I didn't want to like be the first guy to beat my own game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I probably couldn't have beat it as fast as Dole. Just, full disclosure.
Dude, I was astounded. Like he posted me like, I'm done.
What was it, like May? He finished it in May or something?
Yeah, it was real early, man. He crushed it. He had a great spring. That dude fishes a lot. Because like I said, that's one of the keys to this is like just being out there. It's like, it's a numbers, it's a volume game. So I think this year though, I told my wife I've been doing this damn remodel in my house for literally a year, and I told her, I was like, hey, I'm gonna be done with this in March. Like, you will not see me this spring. Like, I'm going to be gone. I'm gonna be on the river all the time. So me and Chris have some plans. We have a trip coming up here in a couple weeks. I gotta, I'm gonna be just freaking getting after it. So.
That dude already has 520s this year.
Dude, he does. And
That's ridiculous.
I was with him for 4 of them. Dude, all So 3 of them or 4 of them came. Oh no, sorry. 3 of them came like literally within exact same spot. And then the other 2 came out of the same river. We got it dialed in this winter, dude.
That's awesome.
We were using our jets to their fullest potential because wintertime, man, I know it's a kayak podcast, so I don't want to like go too much into jet boats. But
our podcast ain't kayak related.
Okay.
No, it's just product related.
Well, jet boats just for on the river in the wintertime, they're a whole new level of efficiency because in the wintertime, those fish are just stacked up in like such concentrated spots that like you might go 5 miles on a river without seeing a fish.
Yep.
So a jet boat, you can clean out a spot, or if it's like this spot's not producing, you can run down to the next spot. And we've really got we called our winter program, but our winter program was tits this year. So the last couple of years, it's just been getting better. I think we had 100. I don't want to speak out of turn. I think it was somewhere around 102. I think it's 102.5 inches, our best 5 for one day.
Oh yeah, I heard that podcast.
So we just absolutely crushed it. But yeah, he's got 520s. Dude stole a couple of them from me, so I'm not gonna let him get that down. Climbed up in the front of my boat while I was looking at side scan and freaking just stole one right from under me.
That's funny.
But yeah, dude, this winter has been good. I'm kind of finished up with the winter. I'm looking forward to just getting some crushing spinnerbait eats here in a couple weeks. So
that's my favorite. That's one of my favorite ways to catch them. I love the spinnerbait.
I know, man. So much freaking fun. I heard your guys pretty blown out there locally right now.
Yep. Now,
it's trash right now.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's good
tornado
though.
warnings yesterday, and it was it's done.
Yeah, it's good though, man, because
that's our river right now.
I didn't even look at the graph. I didn't want
look at the graph.
Dude, we want that water table to be full, man. We want it to be full going into spring. It's been so dry the last couple of years. Like by the time we reached July, like it was like, dude, you just couldn't find water.
Dude, it's been opposite for us. Like
really,
we've had flooded water up until July, August.
Yep,
and then it got real low and clear the rest of the year.
I'm sure I would get sick of it, but that sounds very appetizing to me to have a high muddy river, dude.
Yeah,
I love fishing muddy rivers. That's like doing it. I know it can be too high. It's obviously there's a point where it's like, and if it's high for too long, that's the other thing. When a river is like kind of average flow, or it's like low and it pops. The fishing can just be off the chain. But if it's like high for like weeks on end, that can suck just as bad as being low. Yeah. So, yeah, I hear you on that.
Yeah, some of our best days came when the river was a little bit up and muddy. And then
like
it was
a foot and a half.
Yeah, and then out of nowhere, it just dropped to where everywhere we were fishing was now ankle deep. And there's no fish to be found except for stupid suckers, which I somehow got a sucker to eat a jerkbait. It was weird.
Yeah, he caught a northern hog sucker on a jerkbait.
And it ate it. Dude. Like it didn't snag it. It ate it.
That's wild, dude.
It was so stupid. And the thing hooked me twice. And I felt bad because it had literally one whole treble in its mouth with all 3 trebles coming out. And I was like, dude, this sucks. I tried my best to get it out, but I mean that little dude's probably not eating and he's dead.
So. You guys are fishing the GMR, right? Is that like your main river? I've never fished that. I need to go fish it with you guys or whatever your little secret rivers, lakes you got around there. So
yeah, we got.
There's really no secret on the GMR. Like this river gets hammered every freaking mile of it.
Yeah, there's a couple. There's 2 floats I can think of off the top of my head that, I mean, it sees pressure, but not constant pressure. But there's some spots we go to that, I mean, people know it's there and they hit it every day after work. Like,
so are you guys in the Columbus area?
South, Dayton.
Dayton, yeah.
Dayton. Okay.
We're directly east of Indianapolis.
So how far is Cincinnati from you guys?
About an hour.
So have you ever fished the Whitewater River then?
No, I've heard
Nope.
good things about it though. I've heard there's a lot of nice hybrids and stuff in there.
Yeah, that flows in, like, it flows through Indiana.
Yep.
And I've had some banger days on that river.
Yeah, because that
It's pretty good.
starts. It starts above Brookville Lake, right, and then it flows out of Brookville Lake.
So exactly. So there's an East Fork and a West Fork. The East Fork is above Whitewater River, and then there's a West Fork that joins in right below Brookville, and that makes like the main fork. And yeah, it's a cool river. Like, and I don't think it hardly ever gets fished for smallmouth. I saw a smallmouth in there, dude. I'm not joking. That was like minimum 22 inches. Dude, I dropped a bait. Chris and I, you have to ask him about it. We fished for it for like an hour and a half. It was like sitting under this tree, and we climbed up in the tree because we were like couldn't get to it with a raft, and we're like dropping Ned rigs right in its face, dude. It just would not eat for whatever reason. But it was a giant, one of the biggest smallmouth I've ever seen in person. So
that's crazy. It looks like a nice river.
You just drop a jerkbait in there and just rip.
I thought about it, dude. Not gonna lie.
There's a spot I drove over the river on the way to Brown County once, and I looked over as we were driving over it. I'm like, man, that river looks nice.
Yeah, it's a super cool river. Supposedly, it has like the most gradient of any river in Indiana, which I don't know if that's true or not, but it definitely got some, faster water.
I was gonna say we have the Mad River here, and it's, oh my gosh, it's too fast to even fish. I hate it.
Really?
Pickle Park. That's the river we were on for Pickle Park, and that was the slow part of that river. And we were going, like, I think we were going, average speed was 2.5 or 3 miles an hour, not doing anything, just going.
There's hardly any like eddies or anything. I mean, they're against the bank, but not real big eddies and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's some rivers. There's a lot of rivers in Michigan like that are just like really fast flowing, not a lot of current break type rivers. They're hard to fish in a kayak, dude. It's like very difficult. Like having like power pole or like really, or even like spot lock is like almost necessary in rivers like that. I mean, it's hard to anchor in really fast current. It's unsafe. It's not the greatest. I mean, the game kind of is its own beast. So if anybody's interested, shoot me a message on Facebook, Instagram, whatever. You can message directly on our company page, or I'm About the Bronze on Instagram. And we'll answer any questions you have. But the game has its intricacies and sort of thing, but we do have an official rules. Like if you go to our the product page, like where you buy the starter kit, it's there's a link on there that goes to the official rules, and you can read through that if you want. It should answer any questions. But I put out like 6 videos yesterday. I literally have done nothing that's made me any money the last 2 days. I've been working just on Achigan crap. So there's videos on our Instagram page and Facebook, which we do have a Facebook group, by the way. Are you guys in that?
Yep.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, the Smallie Games bragging board. It's a couple of wet boys running that. So there's a good community around it, and yeah, I mean, we're excited for it. Hope to see you guys play this year, and yeah, would love to have one of you guys as a bronze master, dude. You could definitely
I would have done it if I didn't miss like a whole 2 months of it last year.
Yeah. Well, you don't have an excuse now. I'm gonna get you guys game boards. Don't worry. So I'll get you guys some game boards and get you in on it. And yeah, I'm hoping to get more like guys that, now that we've had a season, hopefully some like YouTubers and stuff will start to document this. Like, because to me, like, if you enjoy filming yourself fishing, like, here's the thing, like, everybody has a YouTube channel, like, and most of them are super boring. Let's be honest. You know,
Yeah.
people
100%.
are. Yeah, people are like, to me, this gives some like YouTubers some chance to like do something kind of fun, like document themselves playing throughout the year and like show them doing different challenges. Like, dude, how it's like a layup for those guys.
Yeah.
And you know, I'd like to see some guys. So if you have a YouTube channel, you know, and you're interested in it, you know, shoot me a message. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah,
So.
Creek Crawler, get on it.
He's in on it for sure.
Okay.
Good.
Brian's in on it. But yeah, you know, I'd like to see some more of that type of stuff out there this year. So we'll see what happens.
I
So
need to start a YouTube channel.
do it, dude. Smallie
Do it.
Games.
You should do it. I'm not gonna do it because I don't do that. But yeah, do it, Brad. I'll film.
All right,
yeah, dude. I can't do the YouTube thing. I'm not a video editor.
I can edit. I just can't. I hate being in front of the camera because I'll do like a take and I was like, I could have done that better, and I'll like swear really loud and turn it off and restart it.
Dude, I did that like 20 times yesterday.
Yep. I'm like, that was stupid, or I'll mess up at like an easy word.
Yep.
Like, it'll be like, yeah. Hey guys, thanks for coming to Paddle and Fin. My name is. That's exactly what I do, dude. And I've done a couple of videos, and I'm like, you know what, man, ain't for me. I'll just take pictures with no moving parts.
Yeah, I hear you, dude. Well, thanks for having me on, boys. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Oh, for sure. We loved having you, and we'll have you on just to talk about. Maybe you can co-host a couple shows this year. Just jump in here and there.
Let me know. Let's go ahead and do a discount code for your listeners. So, we'll do it off the game board itself. Okay, so we'll do 15% off the game board, and then we'll just do largemouth suck. How about that? Largemouth suck. That's the code.
That's funny.
I'll get with you guys and we'll run it for a week after the show's released. So how about that?
Largemouth suck, all one word.
Yep, all one word.
Okay,
I'm about it.
All right.
I did just catch a largemouth, but that's because our river's blown out and I didn't have an option.
I was at the boat show in Indy last weekend, and Chad Hoover was there, and I was talking to him about the games, and I said something about, dude, I hate largemouth, and he was like, why do you hate largemouth? I was like, dude, largemouth suck, dude. He's like, oh, you can't say that. I'm like, dude, that's my bit. You know, that's my shtick.
That's literally the whole reason behind the company, man.
I know. Exactly. Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. And yeah, if you guys I really appreciate you having me on, and you guys are cool as hell, both of you guys. And I don't think I've fished with either one of you. We're gonna have to change that this year. So
I fished against you, but that was it.
You have fished against me, but we need to fish together.
Yeah.
So
this year I'll force Brad. Brad's one of those guys who's like, I'm just going to fish the Great Miami, and I'm not going to leave my area. And I'm a guy.
I don't leave Ohio very often.
Nope. But I'm just going to hog time, put him in my truck because my trailer takes 2 kayaks now, and just put his boat on there too, and be like, hey, we're going. He's like, oh, I got work. You're fired.
You got to do the Wet Boy Island get together. You got to come to that. So
I want to. I'm going to start doing more stuff. I need to.
That's going to be fun, man. We're just going to have a blast with that thing. But yeah, thanks again, guys. And
yep.
Yeah, I'll holler at you later this season. So
sounds good.
Let's go.
All right. See you guys.
Matt, anything else?
I've got nothing else. Everyone, thanks for listening. Definitely head to Achigan.com. Get the board. Get the game. It is something.
Get the sweatshirt.
Get the sweatshirt. Get this one. This one gets compliments. And it says Smallies on it, but you can't see it because it's all in black, but it's right there. Smallies. And their merch is awesome. The game is just something. Prove to yourself how good of a fisherman you are, or something to kind of look forward to, so you can kind of track your progress, especially if you're new. So definitely check it. It's only $40 to get the game, and you're looking at it all in. I think it's like you said, $120. So I mean, for a year, we spend $120 in baits that will sit on the table and never get used. So this is something you can actually do.
Yeah. So, especially you.
100% me. 100% me. But all right. I've got nothing else. Thanks, guys. Brad, take us on out.
Have a good one, guys.